16GB of DDR4 clocked at 3000 MHz, all powered by a 650 watts PSU. If you like the breakdown, please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us get to the monetization goal, so we have a lot more cards to test. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the testing. We kick things off with 1080p on low settings to test the waters and gauge just how demanding Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero would be. Well, it's safe to say it didn't demand as much at all. During testing, we held a solid 60 frames per second with only minor dips to 59 and of course 58. Even at low settings, the visuals were sharp and detailed, making for an immersive and exciting gameplay experience. Seriously, wait, if you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more performance tests like this. Now, let's push this card further and see how it handles higher settings, shall we? We cranked things up to 1440p on lower settings to see how the Spark GPU would handle the game at a higher resolution, and the results were very much impressive. Throughout the testing, we maintained a steady 50 to 55 FPS, which is still solid for a card at this price. That's a 5 to 10 FPS drop compared to the 1080p low, where we had a constant 60 FPS. Even at low settings, the visuals remained sharp and detailed, delivering a surprisingly immersive experience. Seriously, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero is a blast to play, and it looked fantastic even at these settings. The best part? No input lag, no frame skip, and just smooth, fast-paced action from start to finish. It really shows how well this game runs, even on modest hardware like this one. Next up, we pushed the game to 4K on low settings and things took an interesting turn. We were hitting between 24 to 27 FPS, but here's a twist. The game felt like it was running in slow motion. I have noticed this is a common issue in fighting games like Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Anything below 30 FPS starts to feel more like a slideshow. On the bright side, the visuals were much sharper and more detailed at 4K, which made the game look stunning. While there were no input lag, we did encounter some occasional frame spikes during testing. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming performance tests. Now, let's see if you can push this game to a smooth 4K experience. Foreshadowing? Who knows? Moving from 1080p low to 1440p low, we saw a minimum FPS drop of 10 FPS, which translates to about a 16 decrease, while the maximum FPS dropped by 5 FPS. Presenting performance took a significant hit with a minimum drop of 36 FPS, resulting in a staggering 60% decrease, and a maximum FPS drop of 33 FPS, which is roughly a 55% decrease from the original 1080p performance. We ventured into big boy territory with 1080p high settings, and the results were impressive. During our testing, we experienced frame rates ranging from 48 to 55 FPS, showcasing the GPU's capability. While delivering stunning visuals, the game looked absolutely amazing with sharp details and vibrant colors that truly enhanced the experience. What's even better, we encountered no input lag, frame skipping or tearing, allowing for a smooth and immersive gaming experience. To put this into perspective, moving from 1080p low settings, which maintain a constant 60 FPS, to 1080p high settings resulted in a drop of around 5 to 12 FPS, translating to a decrease of about 8.3% to 20% in performance. At 1440p high settings, we pushed the boundaries and were greeted with frame rates ranging from 29 to 34 FPS. The visuals were nothing short of breathtaking, making the gameplay experience incredibly immersive. The graphics looked sharp and detailed, bringing the vibrant world of the game to life. Best of all, there were no input lag, frame skipping or tearing, allowing for smooth and uninterrupted action. Comparing this to our earlier 1440p low settings, where we enjoyed a range of 50 to 55 FPS, we observed a drop of approximately 16 to 21 FPS, translating to a performance decrease of about 29 to 32% decrease. This shows that while the stunning visuals at high settings are impressive, they do come with a noticeable impact on performance. At 4K high settings with 50% resolution scaling, we were able to achieve frame rates between 45 to 50 FPS. While this was an impressive performance given the demanding nature of 4K gaming, it did come at a cost. The visuals took a noticeable hit. We had to sacrifice some graphical fidelity to ensure smoother gameplay experience, but the trade-off was worth it. Fortunately, there were no input lag, frame skipping or tearing, allowing us to fully immerse ourselves in the action without interruption. In comparison to our earlier 4K low settings, which had frame rates averaging 24 to 27 FPS, we observed a significant improvement. The upgrade to high settings may have resulted in a reduction of visual quality, but it enabled a much smoother gameplay experience. At 1080p high settings, we reached 48 to 55 FPS, providing excellent visuals and smooth gameplay with no input lag or tearing. This was a drop of about 5 to 12 FPS from 1080p low settings, which gave us 60 FPS, or roughly about 8.3 to 20%. At 1440p high, frame rates decreased to 29 to 34 FPS with beautiful visuals, by the way. This presented a drop of about 16 to 21 FPS from 1440p low, which accounts for 50 to 55 FPS and about 29 to 42% drop. Finally, at 4K high settings with 50% resolution scaling, we achieved 45 to 50 FPS. While visuals took a hit, the performance improved significantly by 21 to 23 FPS over 4K low settings, which gave us around 24 to 27 FPS, translating to 78 to 96% increase in performance. In conclusion, our testing demonstrated that while 1080p high settings offer the best balance of performance and visual quality with frame rates between 48 and 55 FPS, moving to 1440p high settings resulted in a noticeable drop to 29 to 34 FPS, highlighting the increased demand on the GPU. Despite this reduction, the visuals remained stunning. Finally, at 4K high settings with 50% resolution scaling, we saw an impressive boost to performance from 45 to 50 FPS compared to 4K low settings, proving that even with some sacrifice in visual fidelity, gameplay can remain smooth and enjoyable. Overall, this test shows that while higher resolution may be demanding, they can still deliver an engaging experience on a budget option, aka the GTX 980. If you really enjoyed this video and watched to this part of the video, I am truly thankful, and I hope I see you on the next one. Until then,